So, Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, the picture of the chap on the front of this picture is someone who's an Orthodox Christian who regularly goes to his church, and he's also having a Bible study, or has just started having a Bible study, and has been to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses a couple of times, and he's doing YouTube videos, reports on it. So I'm mentioning this particular video that if you're a Jehovah's Witness, then obviously it's really, really lovely to find someone who wants to study the Bible, and that's marvellous. But be a little bit careful, because not everybody appears as they appear. They may be doing YouTube videos on your study with them. The same thing as Jehovah's Witnesses, we're warned, aren't we, when we visited houses, etc., to be careful about what we say in front of those electric doorbells, just in case it gets recorded. We find ourselves famous for some reason. And the same applies on the carts, of course. Jehovah's Witnesses have to be very careful, because you get Christians coming up to them and trying to record a confrontational type of situation or ask awkward questions, trying to push usually it's their Trinity doctrine, isn't it? They're trying to insist that Jesus is God, and that Jehovah's Witnesses disrespect Jesus because they don't think he's God. But this guy, he's honest in some things. He says some quite nice things about the study. Says a few positive things, such as but he keeps bringing in comments like this. He says, subtle manipulation tactics, one small bit at a time, so that it's we're deceiving people. You know, in their Bible study they're being deceived, and they end up eating poison, or spiritual poison. He did admit that the brother who was having a study with him actually used the King James Bible, because he found out that he, being a former Baptist, was keen on the King James. So he admits then that Bible student, when we have a study with someone, we're willing to use their Bible, not insisting on using ours. This is just a little excerpt.
Should I go to the Orthodox Church? I just haven't always had that time to be able to make it to the Kingdom Hall and still fulfill my responsibilities and duties and other things that I want and need to do with my life, job, and church. So I do need to go to the Kingdom Hall more. I need to experience it more. I need to get in there. And another thing that this witness mentioned to me was, if you remember the second Kingdom Hall visit that's on this channel, I went alone, and this exact same witness I'm talking to during this Bible study had introduced me to this young woman, an attractive young woman, 22, 3, 5, 25, somewhere around there, somewhere between 22 and 25, an attractive young woman. And he mentioned then that she was single, and at the end of this Bible study, he mentioned again that woman and how the congregation was impressed with the things that she's doing, and he mentioned again, one, her name, and two, she's single. So this, I think, if I were to go further into this, and especially if I were to get baptized, which
So not only does he get a new religion, he gets a new woman. An attractive young woman. Well, I've been with Jehovah's Witnesses since I was sort of 18. I've never seen anyone do that. Young ladies, our single young ladies in our meetings, specifically kind of avoid newly interested young men who are coming to the meetings, specifically because they don't want to get them. They don't want someone who's coming along and studying the Bible to do it just to find a woman, because if that's the case, then their husband to be would end up becoming an unbeliever and falling away. That would usually be the case. So that would be a cause of suffering. In fact, Jehovah's Witnesses focus, don't they? You may know, on marrying within the Lord. In other words, you marry someone who is in the faith. Someone who's an interested person wouldn't fall into that category. They may fall into that category in a year or so's time. There's certainly. So I have never heard of anyone having a study with someone after a few times and start trying to introduce them to single young sisters. It's just really. Whether this is true or not, it's questionable. Anyway, I just thought I'd just highlight that concern for anyone who is a Jehovah's Witness who does have Bible study. Obviously, we have to be cautious. Obviously, it's marvellous if someone wants to study the Bible, and it's really hard finding people to want to study the Bible. It takes a lot of hard work and effort on the part of us Jehovah's Witnesses, because we have to keep returning, we have to catch people at home. That's another real problem, because sometimes people deliberately avoid us because they don't want to see us again, or they're just occupied in other activities and we keep missing them. So that's that point. So thank you very much. This has obviously happened in America, so if you recognise that picture and you're studying with him, then be cautious. Take care, and see you all again.